is left to put that structure to use, then they will tell you stories that will sound so stupid that it will actually like more like angers you more. You say, man. And guess what? There are projects like that scattered all over the country. Some of them for years. For some reason, it could be the finishing money, right? That's disappeared. And that is the end of the but did you see that rooms and all of that? It may not really fit in into your own kind of a smart school, but you can tell that the structure they built in that place eh, is standard enough if they could put a finishing touch to it and put it to use in a country that currently has over 21 million out of school children. If these guys who are parading themselves as political leaders in Nigeria, if they happened to be the first set of kind of leaders that got the Nigeria independence back then, Baba, maybe by now we would have been recolonized, not by the Europeans, but by the neighboring countries, because their greed, their selfishness, and self-centeredness is so legendary. When Awolowo brought free education to the Western region, right, in the late 50s, right, you know what they did? They didn't have the structures to accommodate all of the children they wanted to, put in schools then. So what did they do? They had existing schools, but they were not adequate. So Awolowo's government was able to talk the people, the parents mostly, into being partners with the government in achieving the aim. They didn't have the resources. They can't build enough school in a short period. As long as they want to keep building and building, it won't really. You know what people did? People started donating their homes. Most of these schools that you have today in most part of Nigeria, they will tell you that their first, what do you call that thing, like their PS, or what do you call that site, before they will move to their current site that you now know and you have all of their histories made there, right? They will tell you it all started from the house in so place. Maybe I don't know about other places though, but I have the history of that Yoruba land. It spread to all the Western region. It was easier that if that mean churches, they were also giving up part of their buildings for children to be admitted into schools, be graded and all that. But look at these ones. They are more interested in awarding the contract and looking for the loopholes on how to shortchange, the budget for the contract in order to also sabotage the project itself, you know, compromising the standard, so to say. And at the end of the day, they will build structures that are mostly inhabitable. Together, now, like you will probably need to put extra billions in their own way, extra billions in completing this project. You know, we go to major cities in Nigeria, you will see all of these public funded properties wasting away because they couldn't really put them to number one, right? The intention was never to really build anything. It's mostly about just what they can get from it. And they are always asking people to be grateful. They at least they did something. You should even still be happy that we did. We choose not to do it. What are you going to do? Nigeria. There are women from a community called Okwagbe in Delta State. So they have taken their own supposed campaign or advocacy against immoral dressing. It's like they are tired of people or young people wearing revealing clothing in their community. So they have placed a public announcement and also announced a punishment for anybody that violates that. Women. Here. Everybody with what is bothering them. As some of you are more concerned about the state of the country, the economy, yeah, and the, nonchalant attitude of the criminal politicians making these decisions. Others are busy, right, dealing with their own problems. I think it's a matter of a priority. So to say, I'm talking about a priority, brethren. Few weeks back, I don't know, I'll use few weeks, probably like about 3 weeks ago, right? The Soludo Vigilantes in Anambra, right? Agony Chamber or so. I think that's what they are called. So they were accused of harassing, not accused. They harassed a lady, which happened to be a youth copper. That triggered a lot of reactions, protests, and the rest, and the arrest as well of the culprit, right? People were asking that they should be, scrapped because they have become worse than the problems they came to solve. They're extorting people, harassing people, and they are killing people. So local government or Chanja, is it called Chanja local? I mean, or Chanja market or Cha market in Anambra, where they are also accused of trying to extort someone who resisted, and in the process, it led to chaos, and they opened fire. So they've been accused of killing 3 people as it happened. Now, the demand for their complete scrapping has grown. Here, a few days ago, but yesterday. was one of the victims. So she was shot. She wasn't even like involved in any of their whatever argument or disagreement. So she got shot where she was, and everybody was just screaming, "Hey, hey, hey, hey!" So she bled out. You know, it was a sad one. And I think the Labour Party governorship candidate for the Anambra, yeah, was there, and they told him what happened in this short clip.
Because he purposely come for this. What's up, man? And the most of it, they must not get and they did their personal money. And one of whoever so now Jonah I'm going to do that. How about because this is
everywhere, wahala, left, right, and center. And these are the ones that just made it to the public. You know, so many ways Nigeria can happen to you. I mean, that was a business place. It's a market. And you go to the market, lose your life. Not because you had any health crisis, but just because some guys that are working for government, but they have guns, decided to start shooting in a crowded area. Because, yeah, they can. That's the situation. That is the issue. You know, the society that is so lawless, but at the same time, that people have somehow normalized it, is what that contraption is. Anybody can be a victim anytime. You know, that's why we say that yesterday's survivors, they are today's victims. Today's survivors, they are the potential tomorrow's victims. And since tomorrow will become today, and today will become yesterday, right? And yeah, on and on like that, we are all just waiting for our turn by turn Nigeria Limited. Yeah. But let's leave that. Okay. Natasha Akpoti. Remember her? She was suspended 6 months ago simply because she had an argument with Akpoti. And then she told us that the reason why she was being singled out by Akpoti, right, was because he sexually harassed her. That became the issue, right? So they suspended Natasha. She went to court. The court said that she should be reinstated. The Nigeria Senate said no, he will serve that punishment. Anyway, by the time they would be returning, Natasha would have finished serving that 6 month suspension. So she wrote them to say, she writes to them to say, hey, I will be resuming on resumption. Just so you know, clerk of the house. The clerk of the house responded and said, no, you will not be resuming. Okay. I am directed to acknowledge the receipt of your letter notifying this office of your intention to resume sitting and other legislative duties in the Senate on the 4th of September 2025, which you claim is the date of expiration of the 6-month suspension imposed on you by the Senate. I am further directed to inform you that your suspension was with effect from Thursday, 6th of March, and draw your attention to the fact that the subject matter of your suspension is presently before the Court of Appeal. The matter therefore remains sub judice, and until the judicial process is concluded and the Senate formally reviews the suspension in the light of the court's pronouncement, no administrative action can be taken by this office to facilitate your resumption. You will be duly notified of the Senate's decision on the matter as soon as it is resolved. Please accept my distinguished senator, the assurance of my highest office. So I am going to put my money on they will never let her resume. She's going to be going in and out of court, right, until 2027. It's a single way to let you know that those who control your government controls your democracy, not you, and not your law, not the court per se, but according to their script, the way they want it to be is the way it is going to be. And if you're not comfortable with that, well, maybe you should stage a coup. Inibe is the one of the human rights lawyers, right? Who has has several cases against either those in government or those they apprehended using the same, impunity, power of impunity. He has this to say.
The clock of subjudice and say they are not going to recall her. I find the letter of the Senate embarrassing. I find it scandalous. I find it contemptuous. And I find it very disparaging of the sensibility of the Nigerian people, because it is simple. You cannot say that somebody who has served punishment apportioned to her exhaustively, having now served for 6 months, the issue of suspension has a lack of operation of law. The suspension no longer subsists because it's a definite period, and the court have made it clear in a plethora, in a number of cases, the parliament cannot suspend a member indefinitely, because if you go by their diabolical logic, it will mean that if the Court of Appeal gives the decision tomorrow on the cross appeal by the Senate President and the appeal by Natasha, and either party choose to further appeal to the Supreme Court, which is possible, and the Supreme Court now decide that they are not going to decide the appeal till 2027, Senator Fabio is telling Nigerians that Natasha will not resume her legislative functions. I find it.
So the question is, what are you going to do about it? Because they say themselves that they have that power. They will tell you, we have that power, even if it is not written in your law. And if you don't agree, maybe you should go to court. And then you go to court, of course. There is no judge to assign your case to for the first 6 months. Then they find a judge. Now to pick a date, maybe for another 3 months. Or then you go to court. And the court adjourns, and you won't return again until another 3 months. Oh, when they finally return, right? The person you have taken to court, their lawyer is not showing up. So court would have to adjourn again. That is the practice in that place. Nothing is about. But guess what? If the case involves them that they have interest, or they can go to court today, get the judgment tomorrow, right? And you go to